Hello everyone, Spencer here, also known as ScreenSpeak, and in today's video, this is my Rick and Morty Season 9 review. Spoilers? Maybe. Without further ado, let's discuss. Alright, so today it's here. It's all out, and it came out this past Monday. The whole series is out. All 10 episodes of Rick and Morty Season 9. It flew by. The summer has flown by for me. Did a lot of great stuff, and I'm very appreciative of my life, what's going on this summer, and what's going to happen in this fall, my final year of college. But my favorite show, Rick and Morty, its 9th season has just ended. Can't believe it. It's been so great. And so, yeah, so I'm going to pull up the episodes here. And by the way, new season, or brand new spin-off of Rick and Morty, President Curtis, is out. So that I will be reviewing once it's all set, that season's all over. I think there's 10 episodes for that as well. And by the way, guys, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe also has 10 episodes releasing congruently, or going on right now. I love the first episode. Episode 2 airs tonight, and I'm so excited. So, Rick and Morty, excuse me looking it up on my phone, Season 9 episodes. So, this season felt like a much more, I'm going to say more streamlined, but it didn't, streamlined, I don't like that word though. I want to just say, it feels like a classic-ish season. You know, one of the things, I've never had a egregious issue. I've never had a big issue with Rick and Morty where other people are like, the voices are it's all over the place. If you think it's all over the place, literally go back and watch episode 10 of season 1, which is like the Citadel, like the main Citadel episode. It's so funny. It's so meta. I mean, it's the Citadel episode with all the Ricks. So I don't know when people say it's all over the place. I'm like, yeah, that's the nature of the show. So I never had a big issue with it. Season 4, that was their sort of, I know lots of people like to say, well, Season 7, the one where they got the voices is a black sheep season, or Season 5 is a black sheep season because they had the incest baby thing, or Season 4 is their black sheep because it was during COVID and they split the season into 2 parts. Now, I would agree with you on certain parts of that. But what I don't like is just the fact that each of those seasons have good episodes, and the other ones are kind of like meh. But even the meh ones for me, I don't think there's a single bad episode of Rick and Morty. But the meh episodes are still there was fun there. It was just this is my favorite show. But sometimes when I'm watching an episode, it feels like that's not one I'm gonna rewatch back to back, but I'll rewatch it at some point. So that's how I feel. But this season feels like it's in par with 1, 2, and 3, but it's below all of those. So we start off with a banger episode, bringing back regular. I was thinking regular show and Rick and Morty, and I was going to say regular Morty. Who's regular Morty? Nobody. That's who. We brought back Evil Morty, and there's something about Morty. By the way, sometimes the names I'm not really a fan with. Anyway. I would say I'm not a fan with the final episode name, but it kind of makes sense, but whatever. So we'll get there. There's something about Morty. And there really is something about Morty in this episode, because we get the 2 Mortys. We get Evil Morty and regular Morty. There's regular Morty for you. Normal, good Morty. In talking about themselves and learning more about Evil Morty. And the fight at the end of the episode is fantastic. And there's stuff throughout this season that I'm going, I can't wait. I'm beyond excited. I'm bouncing off the walls for the Rick and Morty movie. Don't know if it's coming sooner or after than season 12, but I am through the roof, massively excited. I will be there day 1, maybe a Thursday night screening. I have no idea what I want to do for the Rick and Morty movie yet. But beyond that, with that said, there's something about Morty. Go watch the season. Evil Morty just kicking some butt with Rick. And the fight, the action, the random sound effects, just the cartoonish sound effects are nuts, and they do that later in the season. But yeah, the sound effects are awesome. The animation top notch with the action. Episode 2, I need to watch it again. I'm gonna watch this whole season again with my friend coming up in a couple weeks here before I go off to the fall semester at for college. But one of the things is I like this episode, but I don't know. It's not enough. It's a much more Rick episode. And the thing what I love about this episode, episode 2, I forget what the name of it is. It just says episode 2. Oh, a Ricker runs through it. No, that's episode 4. I actually forget what the name of the episode is. Dang it, Google. So episode 2 is a very severance episode. Oh boy. I don't know what it's called. We're gonna find it. Rick Days 7 Nights, like 6 days 7 nights, and it's a very severance episode. Like Rick doesn't know where he is. He's on vacation. He severs himself to go on vacation. Very neat premise. I like the friends he has in this episode, like at the bowling rink, bowling alley, the like the very snowy atmosphere and this type of setting. What I don't like, well, this is like one of the things. Not that I'm saying it's boring. But one of the things, I think it's very creative the way they use these gadgets and then like make like the beer taps like their ship and all that. And he has like a leg phone. There's like the egg thing that looks like an alien ship, spaceship. And then they go to the house and have the families there. But one of the things I don't, and I love the severance concept. And I had the thought in mind what I don't like, and I already forgot about it. This is a nitpick. This isn't a nitpick on Rick and Morty itself. I was gonna say the cast members. I think I always need good cast members, but it was like office people. It was like voice cast from The Office in here, and I thought that was cool. But it not that they came out and said we're having Office characters, right? And it just needed it. Sometimes I can hear the voices. Like, that's so niche. It's such a dumb thing. It's not a knock on the episode. I still like the episode. So I just wish I could hear the Office characters a bit more. But there was one, I think it was Andy from The Office, and I was like, oh, I can't even tell that it was him. Maybe if I saw, like, behind the scenes, I would have, but episode 3, there's other voices in this season that I really liked quite a bit. Episode 3, Rick Fu Hustle, was beautiful. That one, I did not know where we were going with this in the trailer. But we get the little, like, heart tat thing, and he's like, oh no, I'm on, like, if I take 5-6 steps, I'm gonna die, and it just heart explodes, and then, so he has to walk backwards. It was hilarious. I was like, and then Morty gets it, and then they're fighting at the end, like, with all the different power-ups or like type of moves, kung fu moves, Rick Fu Hustle, because there's a movie called Kung Fu Hustle. It was just clever. And then they get like the big, oh my gosh, what is it, like dumpling, or no, big, oh, I forget what it is at the end. I did watch this season, but like the big, what is it called, punch, like like you drink it punch, but it's like a big mascot for punch, because they're doing kung fu, like punching, haha. It was hilarious, and I'm like, this episode was great. Now, that was great. A Ricker runs through it. I liked it because it felt like, what I liked about it most was Rick getting locked out of his account. And so he has, every time he gets locked out of his account, he has this guy that just is there for Morty, here for both of them, and Rick's drunk. And another thing I liked about the season is that Rick felt drunk again. And Morty has to work things out with this friend, or voiced by Owen Wilson, named Reese. And it just goes off the walls, and there's like the big swirling thing you see in the trailer in the garage, and it's crazy. But then there's like these evil hogs, and then the AI, the Reese gets programmed, like malfunctioning. And the house, that's where the floor gets turned into lava, and it feels like Transformers 2. All the appliances come to life, and I'm like, I'm loving this episode, so I like that one. I liked all of these, but Jared was a bit... Oh yeah, I forgot this was Jared. I completely forgot. So I love the B plot more than the A... Or I don't even know like what the A and the B plot was, because Morty went off, and I liked Morty's plot more, which was Snowball and the dogs all coming back. And Jerry's thing, although I liked it, I'm warming up to it, like, as I'm thinking about it and talking about it, like episode 2, I'm warming up to it. Like, I love this season. I really enjoyed the season. I don't hate any Rick and Morty. But the thing about him eating the worms and getting infected, and him, like, it was cool. I love Jerry and these different types of mindsets. By the way, a Ricker runs through it when Jerry's just on the phone call, and he's like, Jerry, phone call. And he just, it gets the cloud manifestation, and he's like, ooh, I need to go to the hardware store. Kind of sounds like Patrick from SpongeBob. But Jerry Bud, when he's eating the worms, and I'm like, okay, enough. And he's like, 100% worm. And he's like, by the way, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. Forget his name. Ty Burrell. Oh my god. Like, the best voice. I'm like, I knew right away that's Ty Burrell, and there's nobody else who that is. I'm like, I always get, oh my gosh, they've finally done it. Ty Burrell and Peter Dinklage, they sound identical. And now they have both voices in Rick and Morty, and I need to go listen to both of them after this video because they sound the same. But anyway, Ty Burrell was the boss, hired Jerry at this company, and he's 100% worm, and he got hired. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess that happened. But the dog thing was cool in this episode, so I loved Snowball coming back. We had Evil Morty and Snowball come back. Great canonical stuff. Now, a Rickerhead was a great episode because there's things in it that this feels like a Rick and Morty parody episode. And not only is the name called a Rickerhead, like a racerhead, but in the intro, before, like the cold open, is Rick's head gets cut off by a portal. So ridiculously funny. I was like, no way, what are they going to do? And so he has airbags under his head, and they reprogram his body, like the self-destruct sequence. So what they do is there's all this stuff, and then like the Rick's head and body, like they want to meet up, but then they fight, and they have this whole fight throughout the end. And at the end, there's this whole sequence in this like chamber that looks totally Terminator 2-esque. And I'm like, yes, parody a movie. Like all these episodes may feel like they're not like. There's something about Morty. There's no really they're just doing canonical stuff. Episode 2, Episode 3. Episode 3 is like Kung Fu Hustle because of the name, because they're doing Kung Fu, but they're just in, like, Japan. They're just in a location. They're not parroting a movie. Like, they're parroting Kung Fu Hustle, but not for anything specific. Oh, by the way, in Rick Fu Hustle, they go to Trader Joe's. And I'm a little bit biased because my first job was at Trader Joe's. And I loved when they had Panda Express in season 6. But I was like, Trader Joe's, woo! Like, they had the outside, and then later in the episode, they went inside, and I was like, yeah, look at the detail in this place. It's gorgeous. Anyway, but a Rickerhead, when they had the Terminator 2, like, when he jumps in the vat of lava, also kind of like the vat of acid, but like Terminator 2, it was like, oh, beautiful. Beautiful. That was great. And then Mort Gully, the last Rick Forrest, this was one to witness. Now, if you're one for, like, weird bodily, I don't even know what to say, bodily fluid, like, Morty, like they have to evolve. They get sunken down, their souls / amoebas get planted into water, and then they're trying to evolve from cells into animals, different types of animals, and Morty just becomes plants, like the soil, the grass, the tree, the apple, the fruit, whatever. And it's crazy. It's basically supposed to be like Ferngully, like people say Avatar is Ferngully in space, Ferngully the last something the last forest, or whatever it is. So, I've never seen Ferngully, I've just seen Avatar, which people say is Ferngully in space. And this was, I mean, this is what, like, if you know the story, like, of Avatar and the big tree, this is essentially that, like, their souls are being planted ground. And I loved it. Like, this is what I love about Rick and Morty. Just wacky, crazy stuff, taking it to another level. Like, yes, I've seen Avatar. I've never seen Ferngully, but I love what they're doing with this and just evolving. Now, like I said about the whole bodily fluid thing, and Morty becomes, like, is pooping, like the animal, like Morty animals are pooping out all this stuff, or the animals, I guess, are, and all this sort of stuff. And it's crazy, but it happens for, like, only, like, a minute, a montage that lasts over a minute. So, I like that. Not that certain moment. It was a bit weird. But that's what Rick and Morty is. Like, there's an incest baby. Okay? Let's go over that. But episode 8, Morty, Rick and Morty, A Dream. This one was awesome. Now, I don't know what my favorite episode of the season is, because you're going for episode 1 that was canonical to this one. And there's some great things I like. Again, I like about Rick Fu Hustle. Jitterbug isn't my favorite because of the worm stuff. A Rickerhead was great. But episode 8, what I loved about it is, I want to say meta, but it's not even meta. The fact that you don't know what's going on. You know, like episode 2 had the Severance vibes. This just had the well, shoot, what's real anymore, right? It's almost like Inception. Like, remember episode 2 of season 1 was the Inception episode? This takes it in a similar but different route, where Rick puts this thing into Morty's ear. I was going to say a shot, but he puts this creature in Morty's ear so they can go, because he destroyed Rick's what is it called, tap room, or a beer room, whatever it's called, a distillery. And so they have to go find this, like, magic bean, like potato or whatever, alien potato. So he makes Morty, like, not so, like, he can't yell at him. This thing in his ear, and then they go do Dancing with the Stars for a moment to go get this potato. So then the rest of the episode, Morty has this thing in his ear and it's feeding on him, and Rick's just like, he takes it out, like you think everything's fine, and he's like, can I take the thing out? How long have you had it in? And it's like, moron. It's so beautifully edited, well sequenced, and I just was like, oh my god, I totally didn't realize that what was going on. And just the beats, it's like cutting him back and forth between good, bad, and I'm like, oh my god, this is nuts. It was a great story, well created, and the Summer and Jerry storyline, where there's a serial killer and Jerry's just like, I'm a serial killer too. It was nuts, and the way they wrap up these two stories was beautiful. And they haven't done like a wrap up with two stories like this that I've seen. I mean, this whole season was beautifully done, and this one was, honestly, this might be my second. I think the first episode was my favorite, and then this one was my second favorite. I was just blown away at how they did this episode. But we go in from this episode to episode 9, the penultimate one, that's called Salute Your Morts. And I have conflicting thoughts. The camp wasn't my favorite. I did not like the kids that took over the camp at all. Like, and that's something for me that really bugs me, because I'm like one of the biggest Rick and Morty fans, defenders, anything, gurus. But it's like, and then they just have the fart baby. You know, one of the last season's episodes with the Morty Daddy, I think that was the penultimate one as well, where Morty had the what are they called? Not the Quados, not the Psychics, the Cogs, the Precogs. And I'm just coming up with this stuff. Remember, the Precogs, and the dinner thing, and then Morty and Morty Jr. were off, and the garbage thing. And I was like, there's some stuff there that was weird, but I really liked it. It's grown on me. This episode, this is one that's really going to have to grow on me. You know, I was saying about episode 2, how it wasn't like family-centric, but then it kind of got that way towards the end. This one, I love the Beth and Jerry stuff and the high stuff. You know, maybe, and that's another thing that's growing on me. At the end, when Rick is high and he's just going through everybody, I love that. The episode as it goes, it grows on me. But what I don't like is that we just get there and then we randomly have a fart baby. That's stuff I don't like in The Boys. But stuff in this, I don't mind it. So it's growing on me, but it's one that, like, if I had to rewatch it, I'm hesitant to. Because I don't like the kid that took over the camp characters. I do like the joke, though, when he's like, this place, perfect place to get effed. This place, perfect place to get effed. This place, okay, we get it. Like, that was funny. But it just was like, look at, these guys are hardcore. Like, they just keep trashing on Morty and Summer. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. They're cool. They're cool. But they didn't want to interact with them because they killed all the adults, which is funny. I mean, it's like, okay. So, the episode grows on me, but at, like, the first watch, I watched it twice, and I'm trying to review it. It's like, it wasn't my favorite, but this season is phenomenal. There's some stuff great here, like with Beth and Jerry getting high forever. And then they just make the joke to Space Beth at the end when she goes, "Isn't that Bill Pullman?" Space Beth says that, but they go, "We want to make love to you, like we haven't done it in a while." That was funny because they're still a bit high, but Rick is so super high. And in next episode, Field of Dreams, everybody is fine because this is the finale, and we get a great end credit moment. But this episode is all about Morty going to see his own funeral, and the way the episode opens with them with like a family of the Smiths, Rick and Morty just laying out, their legs are exploded off, and he's like, "Chili." Rick's like, "Chili." Rick says, "Chili was too spicy," and there's exploded, and then other versions of the Smiths and Rick and Morty go, estate sale is open, and they're all clamoring about, and it was awesome to see the different versions of Rick and Morty. So I like this episode to see different versions of Rick and Morty, and Morty going through portal hopping, seeing different versions of his funeral was something clever and well done. Just seeing different versions, like a Frankenstein family, Toast family, Balloon universe. It was crazy, wild. Now, Jerry. Can we please talk about Jerry? Like I mentioned him in Jerbud. We had him. We had like the Cronenberg Jerry, very alpha. We had the Birch. Was that his name? Mitch? No. I'm thinking of the I don't know, the guy who is like the leather coat wearing Jerry in last season. It kind of was like almost like an evil Jerry. And then we had this Jerry. We had a Jerry and Jerbud who's a little more confident. And then we had this Jerry, who just really loved his son, and then became sadistic towards loving this alternate version of Morty, and it was wild. And then we got Rick, total Back to the Future vibes. Like, total Back to the Future vibes. And not only was it Back to the Future vibes, but Back to the Future 3 with the house, Rick's house, when Morty goes to MIT and recruits Rick, and they're like, you gotta get me home. And he meets his wife there, who's not Diane, but then he's trying to make the portal gun so he can go home. Very Back to the Future is like, okay, we gotta recreate the DeLorean, like in Back to the Future 3, it's like, okay, we gotta recreate the DeLorean, or Back to the Future 1 almost, but how do we do this? Trying to come up with different ways to do it. And we pan on Rick's house, and it just looks like Doc Brown's house from Back to the Future 3. If you don't believe me, something's wrong, but it looks like it. And it not only does it look like it, but I was just eating up all the moments from like that felt like Back to the Future. And they're watching Field of Dreams at one point, which is the name of the episode. So I'm gonna explain what I don't like about this. I wish they did this episode like all the other ones, like had Rick included, had Mort included. I would have just called it Mort's Field of Dreams or something or other, because Field of Dreams, I mean, maybe it's supposed to imply that because at the end of the episode they all die again and they have the estate sales open moment again, and Morty, because in Field of Dreams, I think something I've seen it, but I can't remember, something about death, and might be in line with the fact that like they're all dead, and like the family dies somehow. Smith family dies, and they just gotta exist and go with it. But you know, thinking back to the episode, the Rictional Mortpoon Vacation, like the Lampoon Vacation thing, they parodied that with Rick and Morty in the title. So I don't know. It's not a gripe on this episode. This episode is amazing. This might be like in my top 5 episodes of this season. So it might be even number 5. Like might be like right in the middle. I mean, this season is hard to rank, but then again, I just wish they titled it differently, because it's like I don't remember the last time like Morty, like you think about the episode Morty Night Run, when they have to reference in the episode, I got Midnight Run on television, like with cable, and let's turn, like you can turn up the factory setting. It's and Jerry's like, it's too hot. They parodied that. They didn't call it Midnight Run, they called it Morty Night Run, and then they called this one Field of Dreams, and they're watching Field of Dreams. I'm like, it's a great episode, but I wish it was different. I'm gonna have to go see. Let's see. Let's go through here and see if there's any other ones that are different. Google's not helping, because that's a Morte. That's a More instead of that's a Morte. Like Rictional Mortpoon's Rickmas Mortcation. So Analyze Piss doesn't have Rick or Mort in the title, but that's just a weird title to begin with. Like Field of Dreams isn't weird. Night Family doesn't have anything. But Night Family is the purpose in the movie, or in the episode. Like, we're the Night Family. Like, they talk about that. So, I don't know. Field of Dreams just doesn't mean, they don't even say, like, this is the Field of Dreams in the episode. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to do, but what I'm going to have to do after this is go listen to the two voices of Phil Dunphy and Peter Dinklage and Ty Burrell. But that said, I love this season. It felt like Rick was drunk. He was burping again. I think they've got their footing down in the new voices. I never had an issue with them, but I loved it. So let me know what you thought of these episodes of Rick and Morty. Were you when they got the new voices, were you not a fan anymore? Have you never been a fan of Rick and Morty? Or if you are a fan, let me know what you thought of this season. Are you like me? Like, are you the biggest fan ever? Are you excited for the Rick and Morty movie? Are you excited for next season when it comes out, either next summer, next fall? Don't know when it's coming out. They said they're trying to do it yearly. They're doing Daredevil yearly, except I don't know if they're doing it past season 3. They're doing Invincible yearly. They're doing Rick and Morty yearly. So let me know what you think of this season of Rick and Morty, and let me know if you're excited for the movie, because I am. 6 seasons in a movie for Community, except we haven't gotten it yet. Oh, what a shame. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. By the way, they're the same creators, Dan Harmon, so he's probably working on this more than the Community movie. But that said, let me know what you think of all that in the comment section below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, watch screen. By the way, Spider-Man brand new day content coming out next week. Don't forget to stay tuned for all that. Got a vlog, review, Spider-Man, movie, film ranking. Stay tuned for all that next week. Like, subscribe, follow me. Don't forget to keep calm, watch screen. Peace out, everyone. Bye.